Hello! Happy Saturday, Annie!
Happy Jan, happy weekend. Well, weekend po po. Friday po lang tayo.
Oh, Friday night. Yan. Definitely a great way to spend my Friday night and your Saturday morning, right? Nakatulog
Yes,
ka
yes.
ba? Nakatulog ka na ba? Hindi pa.
Medyo. Medyo lang.
And that's okay.
Ayun.
Basta craft, ano naman parang kape lang yan. Parang saksakan
Yeah.
mo lang. Craft.
Totoo. True.
Yan. Okay, so today, guys, we have the great privilege of hearing and watching Annie David today do her craft X, or craft experiment and explore. Tama ba, Annie? Experiment
Yeah.
and explore.
Nag-iisip ako ng
Pero,
pangalan.
ayan, sabi ni Joanna Moscada, yay, I'm on time. Good morning. And Kat Crisana is also watching. Ayan.
Good
So,
morning.
good morning sa inyong lahat. Maybe you can help us by sharing our broadcast so that more people will join us today for our super fun session with Annie. So Annie, I'm gonna bring in your. Maybe you know what I to be honest, I didn't know that you're parang science major. So maybe you can tell us a little bit of little something about yourself before we dive into your craft project for today. What do you do full time?
Sure. So, I am a science major. Nag-start yung science journey ko because may entered into Philippine Science High School. Honestly, wala akong plano sa buhay before to enter science. But my mom wanted to study there. And then, for college, we need to get a science degree. So, I ended up with bio because I didn't like math. And then I had other feelings towards the sciences. So I thought that bio would be the easiest for me, most relevant. And then, yeah, I finished it and I got a master's as well because I just can't stop studying. But yeah, I did MS in microbiology. And
Oh
until
wow.
now, I'm still practicing my what do you call this, my career. I'm still practicing it. I'm still doing it in work. I'm still working under a biotech company right now. So I'm still practicing it. But we all need outlets and hobbies. And when I was always interested in crafts, like even in elementary, I just didn't have the influences. I was just not exposed to whatever is out there. So I didn't know that there were scrapbooking clubs, card making clubs, watercoloring clubs. So, yeah.
Galing. So, but how long have you been crafting?
Well, um, it's really hard to say, but
Parang
I just
sabi mo grade school. For sure grade school, di ba?
it's art projects.
Yes.
Back then, I would always do my sister's projects at home. So I just love doing them. So being the ate, I would do their homeworks, their art projects, and then high school. Yeah, mostly we still have art projects even if I was in a science high school. And then college, I made my invitation for my event, for my debut. That was one of my
Oh.
major projects back then. And then every now and then I make invitations for family, for friends. And then 2000, I think 2016 or 2017, I got my first machine, which was the C6.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, it just
Yun na yun.
exploded. I got more exposure from other craft people because we also started doing meetups, right?
Oh,
I
yes.
think at the time the JPPH back then it was just planners and journals, but then I was more interested on the crafts. So I met some people who were also in both, and they got me exposed into more crafting stuff. It's just a rabbit
Gusto ko,
hole.
gusto ko yung word mo, exposed. Pero totoo, yun. It's a rabbit hole. And it's parang one na parang pag nag-slide ka doon, wala nang balik. Wala nang
Yeah,
balikan.
yeah.
Di ba?
Yeah, and yeah, correct. And ang sa akin kasi, my science training, my science background also helps in that experimentation and exploration part. It really, what complements it is my curiosity, my,
Mm-hmm.
What's that? How do you do that? Questions like that, which is applicable to both my science and my art. So that's just me. That's why I thought, oh, that's craft. It's supposed to be craft lab, but somebody else was using it. So I said, let's
I
think
think
about,
Craft Decks is so cute.
yeah.
It's so
So
cute. Well, I am excited to see what you have to demonstrate to us today. And I just want to do a quick shout out. No? So parang I see Paula, Mitch, Jane, Grace, Geraldine, Christina, Kabantog, Dang, and Johanna. Hello, you guys, and Kat Lucena. Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. So let me add to the stream Annie's her work table. Okay, here you go, guys. So go
So
ahead,
here's our
Annie.
project for today. Hello. Here's our project for today. So guys, you see us, but we can't see you. So hi to you, everyone. If you want to share a screenshot of yourself, like what you're doing right now, are you lounging in your office chair, or just watching us? Just drop a screenshot there. I'll check it
Yes,
later.
yeah.
So So the thought process to today's workshop, or craft together, is because it's January, it's the start of a new year, and I was thinking that it's time for new beginnings. And I was inspired when I saw a tutorial wherein they emboss on a brown paper bag. So it got me thinking, that's a good way to recycle your brown paper bags, right? Due to the drive to get away from the plastic wastes, a lot of cities and shops migrated to brown paper packaging. And I have a lot of those at home. I keep them. Who doesn't, right? And some of them have big logos on front. Some of them are just plain. So I was thinking, why don't we spice it up so you can use it as a wrapper, as wrapper for your gifts, or you just want it on your table as a display. And then I had a friend who got married, and then her theme was like books because she was a book lover. And then what we did for her wedding, we used paper, magazine, book pages and magazine pages with text. So we made flowers like this. So these are flowers with text here. See?
Did you print
I
that on the text or that's the paper talaga?
no, it's really magazine.
Oh, ang galing. Magazines yung ginamit mo.
Yeah,
Cool.
actually, I had some old RD, Reader's Digest magazines that I used
Yes.
specifically back then because it was going to be a cake topper. So I really made a big flower, like this big. And then it was really nice because it had like text. It had that library feel. So
Yes.
yeah, so I also incorporated that. So some of the papers here are from scraps, when we just have some pieces lying around, and then some of them are new, but some are also recycled. So that's also my drive to, let's help the environment. So let's recycle our paper bags and, our paper. So we have some levels here for beginners, or those who does not have machines. It's very easy, meaning it's just cut and paste, mostly combination of elements, like ribbons. These are also my scrap ribbons from past projects. So this one is actually a ribbon, and then I had the die for this, a hard die that when you cut, it doesn't cut through. This one can be done even if you just have scissors. You just fold the paper, and then you just cut concentric hearts. Let me try. I think I have paper here.
So if ang galing naman, so pwede mo rin yan i-cut by hand, yung ganyang style?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not as exact as like that, but
Yeah. But you can get the same effect, right?
yeah, we get the same effect. So the thing with die cutting is I got it because I'm so lazy in cutting, to be honest. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a perfectionist. I want everything to be like the same size, especially when doing mass production for projects. So for example, you
Mm-hmm.
just cut the heart. I forgot how to cut a heart already. This is too big, but yeah, get the drift. So something like this. But it has to be hinged.
Yeah. It has to be hinged.
So you can cut like small part. Okay. and then you can like continue it.
Ah, oh yes.
This is what I don't like about cutting. Hmm. I'm like, this is not perfect. You can also use cutter if you're
Yes.
really about
If
it.
you're
But yeah,
a little bit more,
so yeah, this is just a very grungy
yeah,
um
way of cutting it.
version. But yeah, you still get the same effect though.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
so it's like you just
Oh,
do it three
cool.
times. And it's like a concentric heart, right? And then you just
Cute.
poof it a bit. You poof
Yeah.
it
And then you
up
can
a
put
bit.
something in the middle, right? You can maybe
Yeah, actually, I was thinking of
decorate
a
the
text.
middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere like a text strip here in the middle. Yeah, you can use it
Yes,
too. You
yes.
can put it on top.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there you
Nice.
go. It's like you can use this for packaging stuff for your
Gift.
Valentine, for your sweet Valentine. Something.
Knocks. And you know what else, Annie? Parang the Christmas ribbon that we all, I'm sure everybody kept it, 'di ba? I'm the same way. Parang, ops, give me that ribbon, give me back. Eh,
Oh,
'di ba?
I
Parang
do have
no way am I
to.
gonna throw out ribbon. So you can use that. Okay,
Yeah.
what's that?
And then this one, I just this is a quick one. So this is just
Mm-hmm.
also ribbon, and
Okay.
this is ribbon and some, I don't know what you call this one. I just got this from Expressions actually.
Mm-hmm.
Expressions is a quick, go to for me if I just need some weird crafty stuff. So I don't know what you call this.
Parang
Audience,
sinamay ba siya? Sinamay. It's
something
not
like that, but
sinamay, no?
it's white. It's weaved something. So yeah, and then you can buy this in sheets. And then I just cut a portion of it, and then I just added a ribbon. Actually, what's good about this ribbon? It's really nice. I like the color. And then it's sale. It's like 4 pesos per yard or something. So you can do a
Yeah.
lot with ribbon.
Oh,
So this
ayan, sabi ni Paula, burlap. Burlap
burlap,
siya.
that was what
Yes,
I
thank
was
you,
thinking.
Paula.
Thank you, Paula. And
Hey, but
then yeah,
you know what, Annie? I like it kasi it gives and this is something that I think we talked about, but it gives your crafting more paano ba? Parang kultura, may kultura feels because gumagamit ka ng parang materials that's local, 'di ba? To Philippines.
yeah, and also the color palette is more
Yes.
of like
Is
feels, Roti feels.
yes,
So
that's
very
right. Papel Malroti feels.
yeah. But this one is a quick one. If you don't have a machine, if you just like to cut and paste, yeah. And then we go to a more advanced design, like this one. Let's put this two first aside. Okay, so for this one, this is a stencil. So I mean, this pattern was from a stencil. This is a stencil. I got this from China. I'm not sure if this was the one that you also went to. MLA.
Yes.
MLA's
Um
session.
yes, we had their My Little Addicts event sa in Alabang, remember?
Yeah. I think it's this one that we got. We all got one stencil, and this was the one that I got. And
Yeah, that's
then,
so pretty.
yeah, it's so nice, right? It's a good thing to give it to us. It's hard to part with it. So I got distress oxides. So I love oxides because the color is just really vibrant. I prefer it over inks because inks um it's not as solid. So for example, if you put it on brown paper, inks would not have the same, intensity. More or less it would blend with the background as well. So I like oxides in that sense that it is like it's it doesn't blend. Like for example, if you put it on black, it will really stand out regardless what color it is. But if it's an ink, it will not. Wait, let me get one ink. One distress ink. So I have inks as well, like this one, the distress inks. But the color of the oxide for me is better, and it's more juicy. It's it's hard sometimes to make a solid color with the inks. So
So is
that's
that
just
the difference, Annie? Is that the difference with the oxide? I feel that the oxide is a little more chalkier. Tama ba?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
versus the ink, right? The ink is so can sometimes be too much.
Yeah, let me try this one on a brown paper bag. So you just see the difference. So this one is an ink. So, and also, this is a brush. This is a makeup brush actually, and I prefer this over the sponge because it just gives me more power on the blending. I think
Yeah,
so.
I think it gives you more control on where to blend and how much to load, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for example, this one is antique linen, and I made a swatch like this. It's very scratch paper, but it's supposed to be like this color. But since look at that, this is the oxide. Oh, sorry, this is the ink. Look at the color. It doesn't really show the same color as when you do it on the white paper. But if you do if you do the oxide,
Hi,
oh,
Annie, I think we lost your camera.
okay, wait. Let
Are you
us.
still?
Hmm.
I think it's just reconnecting now, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Okay, I know now.
yeah. So let's
Ha.
just give it. What happened?
Let me just show it to you on this camera.
Okay, there
But
you go.
basically, this is the antique linen on white paper, and this is on brown paper. So this is ink.
Oh,
It doesn't really stand out. But let's
got
let's
it.
do a. Let me just quickly clean my brush. Okay, it's back. Right? Can you see it? Can you
Yes,
see
I
it?
can see it now. Shock,
Let's do a
wait lang.
sample of this squeeze lemon.
There.
This
Oh,
is
and
squeeze
hi,
lemon.
Mitch. Mitch is watching.
Hi, Mitch. So here is the squeeze lemonade on white paper and squeeze lemonade on brown paper. The color is much
Oh, it's.
same. I
I
mean,
get it.
coming out, right? So
I
there.
see your point.
That is why especially for colored paper, I prefer the oxides.
Yeah.
There. So for this particular stencil, I use three colors. So I use this swatch. This is the only set of oxide that I have so far. So and then you just I pick this stencil because I like the design, and then we will do a radial gradient. So radial gradient is like from the center, I think.
Mm-hmm. Going out.
So yes, and then um, I sometimes get washi just to hold it in place, and
Annie,
then
for the brush, no, for those who may be just tuning in, where do you buy your brush? That makeup brush.
yeah, this one actually Shopee's best friend.
Shopee.
For
I
yeah,
love Shopee.
Shopee is best friend.
Shopee
So
is life.
yeah, I think we have this for like 20 pesos each.
Oh, not
22.
bad. Or sa mga department store din, di ba, Annie? I think they have that sa SM or Landmark. But
It's expensive.
yeah,
It's like
Shopee is life.
80 pesos each for like in. I think Richard mentioned before that he found some in Miniso or one of those Japanese
Ah,
brands, but
pwede, pwede.
I think
Miniso.
it's still more expensive. And then when you get the Shopee holiday promo, 12 or something, it's even more. It's even cheaper.
Oh,
So
Shopee Gold member. Pag Shopee Gold member ka, you only get it for 25. So I guess you become a gold member if you spend more, right?
I think so. Yeah. So
Okay, all right. Oh,
I'm
wow.
just
Ay, ang
trying
ganda.
to get
I
there.
like that, Annie.
The yellow is really, really, really nice.
Nice.
So I
Yeah.
like it.
So in kahit pala, even if you're actually doing it on brown paper, um, the oxides will show up um, as bright as their original color is.
Not as bright exactly, but yeah, it is quite
But
bright.
bright. Oo, not
Yeah,
the same as
enough, bright enough.
parang inks, di ba?
Yeah, yeah, then inks. So I really like that.
So, Master is saying that Daisy or Daiso, baka Daiso yung gusto niya sabihin.
Ah, yeah. I think that's
Daiso, 'di ba, Master? Hindi Daisy. Daiso has those makeup brushes.
yeah.
So if you want to head over to Daiso, you can go. Just make sure you're wearing a mask and you're social distancing.
Yeah, and then also outside, you just tap a little bit. You don't tap that much, and you get so much color out of it.
So much ink.
Yeah. See, it's also here in the stencil itself, so you just brush it off. So it goes to the paper, doesn't stay on the stencil. And then I'm
Uh-oh.
not very conscious about the, where where the yellow is because it eventually will blend. And
With the other colors, right?
yeah, I just want the middle part to be the green. So this one is the next color is Twisted Citron. And I
Nice.
think
So nice.
China, you also carry this, right? You also sell
I
oxides.
do. Yes, I do. Right now lang, we don't have, you know what our challenge is, to be very honest, is that our port, I don't want to say that our ports are closed, but because Toronto, Canada has, ang taas eh, we're at, I think, 35, 3,500 cases a day.
Wow.
So, yeah, wow talaga. So we have no choice but to sort of close our ports. So I think that's the challenge in getting stuff. It's really expensive to bring it in from other countries, no? But we
Mhm.
can work on shipping it from the States naman. We'll work on that.
Yeah. But the oxides
Yes.
actually had a new release. I think it was like firecracker or something.
I think
And
I saw that.
there was another speckled egg. I really love that blue. It's like a
Sold out. Sold
blue.
out right now.
Why? It's so nice.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know it's a really nice set.
So there.
Um,
And then I think we're ready for the last color, or maybe more green on this side. So there. With the stencil, you have to be a bit patient because eventually it will reveal itself. In the moment of truth, you lift the stencil. Then that's a moment of truth. Like this, you don't really appreciate it that much, but
no, not yet,
it's
right?
and I also use just one brush because I'm doing from the light to the dark. So I think
So
it's
it can, yeah, it'll pick up the colors, no?
yeah, just be forgiving about it. But yeah, you can have multiple brushes if you prefer that. I just don't
Um,
like
I
washing too
was
much.
watching. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Heidi Swap. So, what she does is she puts for every brush she puts a washi tape that coordinates with that color, so that
Yeah.
she doesn't interchange or accidentally bleed parang another color into her brush or into her project, diba?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also nice. Actually, I think there are brushes like this that are sold in craft stores that have like a color band here.
Yes, yes, yes. I've seen
But I
those.
think it's expensive, and I'm a cheapo, so
Some of the brushes here start at $15. So, yun
wow.
lang. Yeah, 'di ba? Versus Shopee or maybe the Landmark, 'di ba? That's still so much cheaper.
Yes. So, you know, we go with the value for money.
Yes, more bang for your buck.
So, yeah. So I'm just finishing coloring this stencil. I think this has less blue than the one that I originally did. Let's put some more blue. Yeah. So you can also use foams. The one from Tim Holtz, I think, has a holder. And then you also have finger sponges. Have you seen those?
Daubers, I think they're called daubers.
Oh yeah, that one.
Pero
Yeah. If
um I just noticed that it doesn't come out as nicely as the brushes.
you are really.
Mm. Kasi parang si brush, because you're able to swirl it and you're able to add more color. I feel that the daubers don't do
Mhm.
as much justice.
Or maybe for fine, very, very fine, like
Yes.
holes. designs, maybe, or intricate designs, maybe that's
I think so.
better.
For smaller spaces like your dots, I can see your circles. I think for smaller spaces, it will the what you
Numbers
call
would
it?
be better.
No, that one. The brush is so much better.
There. Okay, I think this is somehow ready. But let me see. Let's see. The moment of truth. Oh no, please don't rip. Yay! There you go.
So nice, Annie. That's so.
Yes.
I love how the green dun sa dulo is
Ano na
two-toned.
ba? Yeah,
Oo.
itself is nice. Like if you see it, it
Which
is
one
still
is
has
that
yellow.
one? Which
This one
one is
is
that?
twisted one.
Twisted citron. That's so nice.
Diba malagay yellow yellow
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like this color. So there you go. And then I just die cutted a sentiment and then put it in the bottom. So you know, just need to just wet this quickly. So distress oxides are also good for water activity. So I just don't want this paper bag to be wet. But if I'm using a heavier cardstock, it would be
Mm.
nice to like flick water to it, and then you will
Yes.
have that drop effect. Yes. And then as I mentioned, this one has a die cut. So
Yeah.
last week you did some cutting with your
Apricot.
Joy. Joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then for me, since I don't have that, I'm just
Yep.
using the
I
C6.
don't
So
have that yet.
let me just show you my C6.
Go
This is my
ahead.
C6. It's the
Is
camera is
that
mounted.
the plus or that's the 6 inch?
No, this is the regular one, the small one, and it's very badly beaten already, heavily
No,
used.
I think you just need a new plate, Annie. You just need a
I'm
new.
trying to max out my plate, so
Yes,
it's a
if you
warrior.
can.
No problem.
Oo. No, I have
Yeah,
the
and
same size actually, and that's all you need. Unless you're an invitation maker or
yeah,
you like, making big cuts, you can. Pero ako, I'm very happy with that size.
actually, I actually want a smaller one as well, just so it's more portable and for smaller cuts. But
Yes.
yeah, it's already for starting out. So I actually use the magnetic plate, but I have the extended platform as well. But I just like this one because it holds your paper in place, especially if you have like concentric designs. And then yeah, you need the plates as well. So this is just for who is interested in a die cutting machine. This is what you get. So you have the machine itself, and
Yeah.
then you need the platform. So for older versions of the metal dies, sorry, it's thick enough so you don't need this one. Is it the boards or something? I think thin bits is that's the thinner ones. The
Correct.
metal, just like metal thins. So this is
Yes.
thin
The
bits.
the way they're called wafer thin.
Wafer thins. Yeah.
Yes.
So the thick ones, I don't know what you call them, but
The thick ones are called the steel rule dice.
yeah. So I think I have the very old one. This one I will use for next session. So
Wow, Annie, that's so nice.
yeah, this one
Patingin.
is for making heart boxes. So this one, I will need, I think, an extended platform because the design is
Yes.
really big.
Yeah. So they have the
But
parang 6 by 12 inches.
yeah, I have that then. So yeah, so that is for next session. So we will do the part box. So for now, yeah, now you see my machine. So if you guys are interested to, this is a good machine to start with because you can do both small and medium dice, I think. It's
Yes.
very rare to see big dice. I mean, I only saw big embossing folders, like A4 size, but for dice, I think 7 inches. Well, yeah, it won't
I
fit
think
here.
the no, it won't fit there. Pero most of the wider or the bigger dice are for invitation makers. Yung mga may fold, yung mga may how do I say it? Very intricate fan designs or mandala
Mhm.
feels, mga ganyan.
Yes, mandala fields. Speaking of, I think I did one cut here. I just wasn't able to make up. Um, Wait, let me just look that mandala design. There, I had one. See, it's just a smaller one. But if for example your paper bag, assuming you have a paper bag that has a big logo in front, you can just use one and then stick it in
That's
front.
so
So that it,
nice.
yeah, and then put a sentiment somewhere in between or put a flower somewhere, and that's it. It's a new bag. It's a new design. And
And you
then
know what? It gives life to our, kumbaga parang if you were to like let's say make a loot bag for a party or loot bag for Halloween, instead of handing out candy, you can put it in brown bags and just dress it up, 'di ba?
yeah, yeah, that's kiddie parties. It's just nice to amp it up a bit, just so it's
Yes.
not a different paper bag, and it's
Yeah.
not too funny. I think. I mean, just jazzing it up. This one, I was using an embossing folder. I
Yep.
forgot when I saw this one, but when I saw this, I was like, whoa. So
Wow, that's what you use? That's so nice. Oo
this
nga.
one, and then
Ganda.
yeah, this one, wow. See,
Oo nga. Ang ganda ng
it's
labas
really
niya.
nice. So
Parang
what I
3D embossing folder ginamit mo.
yes, yes, almost because the paper is really thin, so
Like, yeah,
it
as
really
in,
looks wow, it's embossed. So you just insert it on one side. You can use different shapes as well. There's like a strip. I forgot, but I think I have embossing folders that are just strips. Then you can put this in the middle as well. But for this one, I like a really solid background, so I'm gonna put it here. Let's insert it gently so we don't rip it. And in this one, I will just run in the machine. So the big shot C6 is good for embossing as well. So you get die cuts and then embossing folders. You get embossed images. So yeah. Okay, now I will put it in the machine. Smooth plates. For this one, I will need as well the what do you call this? Um,
part of the platform, di ba?
yeah, the flat extended multi-purpose platform.
Hindi siya
There's
extended.
like two.
I think it's sort of like an adapter or
Yeah, yeah,
a,
sure, yeah.
right?
I will do. So this was actually attached to the big extended platform, but I broke it. Sad, but it's still working. So I can use it as. I can still use it. I just have to manually align it, which brings me to where is my other platform. Let me just get my platform. Okay. This is the extended platform. It's really long. And what's nice is it has like a cheat sheet sticker
Yes.
printed. Like what sandwich combination do you need to achieve a certain effect. So there's also a lot of other accessories for this one. Maybe I'll do another demo on that, but yeah. Like for example, if you want to, enhance your embossed images, there are dies that do both cut and emboss. So there's also an adapter for that so that you enhance the embossing while cutting as well. Let's see how this turns out. Okay. So there. There you go. And then yeah, I just spice it up with some ribbons. Just put a ribbon like this. And then I used this stupendous set. I just used the jar actually. This jar.
That's a
And
nice
then
set.
yeah, it is. And then what's that? Sorry. And then I cheated myself by using 3D flowers. So
But that
supposedly
you
when
can make that, di ba? You know how to make that, Annie?
yeah,
The rolled
actually
flowers.
I was just looking for my die, so I
Yes.
can cut one long one of these. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
since I have this, use
Or
this one
maybe,
instead.
Annie, if you have time later, you can demo how to make the rolled flowers without a template. or without a dye?
Ah, yeah, sure.
If you have
I'll
time.
do
If you have
that.
time.
No, I'll do that with the box dye, the heart box.
Ah,
It's
yes. Okay, okay.
hard, so yeah. For this one, it's just a quick one, so you can also color this. Yeah, and I also use the pigment ink here, the one from the loot bag, which I really love because it's really juicy. It just needs time to set. So I had some smudges here because I was like rushing. But yeah, it's really juicy. And it's just like one stamp and it's done. So I just need to add color to it. So the stem of the flower is green. So I just need to make this green. Put some water so it is supposed to be blue. There, it's another bag. And then finally, yeah, we have this one, the last one. So this one, just a bunch of elements. So, oh, by the way, after you're done using this brush for the oxides, I suggest you throw them into the water already, just so it's easier to clean.
Annie,
So there.
can you um is it enough like if you take ano a paper napkin or parang or tissue paper and just brush it out until maubos yung ink? Is that not
I
enough?
Well, for me, the brushes, the thing with brushes is the ink comes up. It gets pushed and pushed
Ah,
and it
push it
gets
into the
absorbed. But eventually it goes up. For me, it's easier to just wash them off so that until the bottom part, more or less, it gets removed. For the tissue, if you're just gonna scrub it, it's just
yeah.
the surface that gets cleaned. You know,
Ah.
sometimes it's stuck in between. And in my experience, I had like in it bleeded out in the next project. Like
So my question
it
is after you dry it, di ba parang so you wash it in water, right? But
mm-hmm.
after you paano ba? After it dries, does it have the same parang texture ng bristles or does it get clumpy?
For me, I think it's when it dries, I think it's just the
Oo,
same.
same lang.
Like this. Can you see
Okay.
it?
Yeah, same
Yeah.
lang siya.
This one
Nice.
it's almost dry already because I used this last night. And then
Tapos
let me
wash
check my
it.
other let me check my other stuff.
Oo. Just out of curiosity kasi parang I
Yeah.
noticed some of the brushes parang they're the same. Oo nga. Okay. Good to know.
When it dries,
Good to
yeah, when it
know.
dries. Definitely. So yeah, I hold it that way. I don't try assigning colors because if I assign colors, I'll just get one for every color. So I just wash them. So
Oo
I
nga.
can use this tomorrow for my reds, the other day for my purples. There. So last one. So this one, I had what do you call this red one? Is it also burlap? No, it's not burlap. It's something
Parang sinamay.
else. You know,
It
like
looks like
yeah.
sinamay. Maybe Paula can answer that. Paula would.
I just oh this looks nice. Yeah, so I just got this one pre-cut, and then yeah, the only elements here are the flowers and the tag, which I both cut using the delicate machine. You
Mm-hmm.
can manually cut the flowers. I think there's many tutorials doing petals out of paper. Like for example, like this paper that we used before. You will just cut like it depends how you want the borders to be, but could be like leaves, and then you just it's supposed to be cute, right? And then you just stack them. If you're a cut, I mean, if you like cutting, a lot of people like to cut, just for relaxation purposes. But me, I really don't have the patience to do that. Oh, just one piece. But yeah, you can do multiple pieces and then just stick them together. And then you can do big sizes, small sizes. So this one is a small one. You can even do a page like this big as a petal. It
Yeah.
depends. You can do it for decor and stuff. But for our
Yes,
purposes,
I think you're referring to the parang the big flowers, 'di ba? The ones that they use for
mhm,
events. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, you can use that. You can do that using a machine to cut the petals, or you can do it manually if you have the patience to do it. So I don't have, so I just cut them, and I have a lot of flower dyes. I just chose this one because I think it's simple enough, and you still see the text showing through. I think it makes it a grungy feel. I use the magazine. Where's my magazine? Oh, this is actually from FM. They have really, really nice catalogs. It's so colorful. They have like solid parts, and they have like text parts you can use.
Yeah, that's so nice. That's a great way to parang to work with, if you're limited in terms of what you have as far as paper is concerned, no?
Yes, yes, true. And we're helping the environment.
Yeah,
So
very true.
yeah, so we just cut. Here's my. I'm looking for the. Oh, here it is. So in cutting, when I cut, some just tips and tricks. When I remove the paper from the die, I sometimes use a forceps. This is this is a craft forceps, I think. Or maybe this is a lab grade forceps. I forgot. I have lots of this at home. I prefer the pointy one, but sometimes it pierces the paper, so you can also use blunt end forceps. And then I found this tool, this magic tool. This is from Hortaleza actually. This is also a beauty product. It's actually comes in a set. So this is a hack as well. Because I think this tool, if you buy it from We Are Memory Keepers or Fiskars, I think it costs like 100 bucks each. But this one is like 80 pesos one set. And then,
Ang ganda naman yan.
yeah, the tip you can use for pushing
Yes.
the paper out of the die. And
Mhm.
the fine tip, here is a fine tip. I'm not sure if you can see it. It can be used for
For the
smaller,
smaller images, right?
like this one,
Yeah.
smaller details, the eye and stuff. So just be careful. And then, when the design is very intricate, I use the forceps to push
Pull
it
it out.
completely out of the die. It depends actually on the thickness of your die and the thickness of your paper, how hard it will be to
Oo.
remove. Yes, there. And then I just cut a sentiment. You can put the sentiment tag. So you can just put to somebody, to mom or to dad or to somebody. So there, you have your paperback.
Nice. So how many projects did we make already, Annie?
I think it was like five.
5 already. And they're all like upcycling or creating
Well, some of
something,
them, yeah. Most of them are like from materials. And
'di ba?
assuming you have your brown paper bags, from 7-Eleven or from Miniso or somewhere, you
Yeah.
can just put something big over it, the logo, then
Yeah.
your purpose.
And just cover it. There was a phase, when I was an early crafter. So I would take the paper bag,
Mm-hmm.
fold it in half,
Mm-hmm.
tapos I would glue it together. So I would, paano ba? Let me just see if I have parang I would fold it, I would score it down the middle, fold it, 'di ba? And then so technically you'll have three, parang one side na closed and then one side na may pocket.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So then I would put
Yeah.
stuff inside. So I would sometimes like put 3 or 4 paper bags together, and that would be my album. I would make an album, 'di ba? Actually, that's why when I first started my company, I called it Treasured Memories. Lagi ako niloloko ng brother ko, ate, I think it's treasured trash. Because I would give them scrapbook album made out of, literally, ganyan, no? Like, paper bags. Of course, binibili mo naman na bago yung paper bag, hindi naman yung galing, wherever, yung mabasa-basa. Or yung tansan, di ba? I will take
Oh,
that and
yeah.
hammer it down hanggang sa mag-flat siya. And then I would use it as embellishment. So he would always tease me. And this was maybe like 2009. So how long has it
Mhm.
been? Parang 11?
11. No, 12. I know 11.
Or parang ganyan. Sabihin mo ng 10 years, right? So now
Yeah.
that he sees, nakakatawa lang kasi now that he sees
Mm.
our progress, and then he'll be like, hey, Ats, kamusta na si Treasured Trash? I'm like, oh, hindi na kami Treasured Trash ngayon. Level up na kami. But that's really
Palengke
what
na kami.
scrapbooking is all about, ha?
Palengke na tayo.
Correct.
TCM Market.
Marketplace na kami ngayon, hindi na traffic. But you know what, Annie? I love the stuff that you made today because it really brings us back to the core of scrap. Kaya siya scrapbooking eh, 'di ba? Kasi it's using what little things you have lying around sa house and repurposing them for new things, right? So I had fun watching you do that demo and baka dapat next time sabay tayo. But you know what, going back, so Pescasio is saying a tip for cleaning and washing, put it downwards to drip all of the water. That kind of
Mm-hmm.
brush will dry faster. That way, instead of drying them upward. So parang instead siguro na nakaganon, parang paganon.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I was actually gonna say,
Ganyan, ganyan.
paganyan, yan, paganyan.
Yeah. I actually squeeze them pa. I squeeze them. Para
Squeeze it pa. So my sister, so she's the one that's into makeup. Ang sabi niya sa akin, use Johnson's Baby shampoo. Super konti lang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tapos i-brush mo sa kamay mo or brush mo sa or just just scrub it through and then through running water. Tapos yun nga, parang pat dry on a towel and then just let it air dry. But that's a good way to keep your makeup brushes longer.
Mild soap or detergent. Actually, meron akong makeup brush remover. Wait, makeup brush cleaner yata na solution.
Oo, alam ko meron din yun. Meron din ngang ganun.
It helps. So, parang it helps with the fiber siguro. Kasi it's specifically made for brushes. So, or, the shampoo, it's very gentle on the fibers, I think.
Yes, it's very gentle and helps prolong the life of your brush, diba? But at least that one, di naman natin sinascrub sa mukha natin. So really,
Well.
well.
I don't.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun, Annie. Thank you so much. If we have any questions, you guys, you're more than welcome to drop it in the chat box here, or you can send us a message, and we'll be more than happy to go over it in our next live. But that was so much fun. I hope it inspired you guys to do a little bit of crafting today. Kasi sabi nga, let's face it, lahat naman tayo parang crafting yung me time natin, di ba? And there's nothing wrong with taking about an hour or two to do what fills your soul the most, right?
Actually,
So
yeah. Thank you pala din sa opportunity to make this channel. I mean, it's been, I hope the people enjoyed watching us as much as we enjoy preparing for them. I honestly look forward to it because a lot of things are going on right now in my life, but this is something, that is mine, that is something I have control over, and it's just very therapeutic for me. So I really hope you guys enjoy.
Yes. Thank you so much. Actually, the entire team is watching. I think si Beve lang is not watching kasi it's brown out ngayon sa Bicol. Parang all day, brown out sa Naga from like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. But, Mitch, Richard, Beve, if you're watching somehow, and Annie, thank you so much for all the effort that you guys put into TCM. Super, super, super appreciated. And it's true, parang this is the one place that we feel parang hindi ko ma-explain na parang basta alam ko pag TCM time na I can breathe. Diba? Na parang I know, kahit it's and like what you said, cutting is so therapeutic. So you know what I've been doing? Yung laman ng mga kits, I print them out and I cut them out for you guys.
Wow.
While watching either Modern Family or like a Tagalog movie, whatever it is, just to kind of like decompress for the day, no? Kasi you need it. So, ayun lang. I'm so excited for next Saturday. Who is up for next Saturday? I think it's Richard.
I think it's Master. So, watch out for that.
Nako, ayan na. Yung mga pasabog ni Master na parang, kaya, madali lang yan. Tapos parang, oh my God. So, maybe what we'll do is we'll ask him to post a list of the materials that you're gonna need. That way, para sabay tayo kay Master sa kanyang project. Yay! Okay, so everybody have a great Saturday ahead of you. Enjoy your weekend. Get crafty and make sure to fill your cup. Until next time, we'll see you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye!